Hi, my name is Claudine Gallagher and I am the founder and CEO of Dedication Real Estate Corporation in the Philippines. I am an active rental property investor. My videos are intended to teach and empower young Filipinos like you to be financially independent and retire early. Like I always say, you become what you believe. In this video, I'll be sharing with you how to buy your first rental property in the Philippines. Buying your first rental property sounds like a daunting task, doesn't it? It is indeed not an easy thing to do, but here are the 6 general steps that you need to complete to avoid mistakes. Please note, this is more of an overview of each of these steps, and I will go into more detail of each step in my other videos. Number 1 step is the strategy. Before you start your real estate investing, you must decide on your strategy that you intend to use for real estate investing. There are many strategies with real estate investing such as flipping, house hacking, development, etc. But since we are talking about buying rental properties, I will focus at a buy and hold strategy. This is where you will buy a property with the intent of keeping it to generate cash flow for the medium to long term. Step 2 is finding the location. First of all, you need to identify the location and the type of properties that you want to consider. When choosing a location, you want to focus on an area with a positive job growth and young population. It's also beneficial to be near a university or a hospital, as students and nurses all need to live near this building and can be reliable and stable tenants. Number 3. Identify the type of property you want to invest in. This could be a single-family house and lot, a multi-unit apartment property, or a condo. Now, I understand this will also depend on your budget, but you should hone in on a type of property so you can study the average prices. For example, say a standard house and lot in Venezuela or a condo in Makati. This will help you understand the prices per square meter for that property. There are pros and cons to each type of property you decide to purchase, which I will describe in another video. When you identify the location and type of your investment property, you need to get out there and view potential properties and make offers. You need to kiss a lot of frogs before you find the right one, just like when you're finding the right person to marry. Take note that each property has a number that works for you. So, to make sure if it's a good deal, you need to calculate this number. When I say run your numbers, you need to decide if you need to upgrade the property and how much that will cost. You might do this in order to increase the rent you can charge. You will also have to calculate how much the expenses will be per month to run the property. For example, if you have a property manager, how much you will pay for them, or will you save money and do it yourself? It's so important. After all of these expenses, the income from the rent still gives you a positive cash flow. Then you can work backward to ultimately find a price that works for you, that you can pay for the property, and make that offer to the seller. Number 4 is negotiating with the seller. When you are dealing with the seller, you want to build relationship with them and find out what they need, so you can solve their problem. That could be a certain price or how fast he or she wants to close the deal. Then you make an offer. If the offer is accepted, I would strongly advise you organize an inspection before executing the final deed of sale. I'll be sharing more details about this in another video. Number 5 is financing. What kind of financing does the seller willing to accept? If you are wealthy already, you can pay full cash. But the vast majority of you will have to use bank financing. I will strongly suggest that you get a pre-approved for a mortgage before you find your first investment property as a first step. I'll talk about this in more detail in another video. Last but not the least is the title transferring. Yes, this is one of the most important things. So before making an offer, you need to do your research. Find out if the seller's title has the original title deeds. Request for a photo copy along with updated tax declaration, because this is very, very important. You must verify to the City Hall if the title is legit and matching the names with the seller. And lastly, don't forget to ask for a valid ID of the seller. Once you and the seller agreed with the price, both parties can execute the deed of absolute sale. Title transfer, if processed, may take 2 to 3 months, depending which area in the Philippines you are located. Again, these are based on my own experience, and I would highly recommend you to approach a legal and financial advice from licensed professionals if necessary, especially for the execution of deed of absolute sale. After this step, you should be the owner of a successful rental property. Hopefully, it will generate you a nice cash flow for you and your family. One rental property may not be enough to support you and your family, but it could be the first property of many to allow you to come home and settle with your family. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and to check out my other videos on investing in the Philippines from abroad so you can replace your primary income and hopefully become financially independent. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon.